right. And that was a very beautiful rendition. Hi there, guys, and welcome
Hello.
back to Musicahan. And hi. So this is the fourth episode. Of course, I'm looking forward to the future episodes that we have. And well, for the past couple of episodes, I'm sure our viewers have been seeing our faces all the time, all three of us. And today is a very special day because now we have a special guest with us from the Philippines, and he is a magnificent tenor. So before we introduce him to you viewers out there, once again, I'm Sam.
I'm Anton.
And I'm Nina.
So, Kuya Anton, I believe that you are the person in charge of introducing this wonderful guest to us. So, would you do the honors to introduce him to our viewers?
Yes, of course. He's an opera and classical singer, conductor, composer, arranger, liturgical music minister, flutist, and music educator. He was born and raised in Tondo, Manila, Philippines. He studied Bachelor of Music, major in music education, emphasis on vocal performance at the Royal and Pontifical University of Santo Tomas Conservatory of Music under the tutelage of the acclaimed Filipino tenor Roman Ferrer. He was a former member and soloist of the UST Coro Tomasino and Liturgicon Vocal Ensemble, and was a recipient of the UST Santo Domingo Scholarship Program. Through his years in the conservatory, he participated in various major performances, concerts, and operas here and abroad, such as Viva Verdi, Bicentennial Gala Concert, Sampung Mga Daliri at iba pa, UST Annual Christmas Concert, Giacomo Puccini Tosca, and Giuseppe Verdi's Rigoletto. After obtaining his bachelor's degree, he continued studying voice at the Herodias Park School of Music under the direction of the international Korean baritone Byung-in Park. In December of 2017, he performed in Musica Viva opera production of La Boheme, directed by Professor Lo Kingman, held at the Hong Kong Cultural Center. Please welcome Mr. Razel Clemeno.
Hello, everyone.
Hi there, Russell.
Hello, nice meeting you all. Thank
Yeah, thank
Pleasure is
you.
mine. Yeah.
thank you very much for having me in
The
your
pleasure is ours.
channel. Yeah, thank you so much for having me in your channel.
Thank you so much, Russell. We understand that you also have many other performances right now. I mean, even though it's very difficult to get live performances, I understand that you still have sponsors and contacts who still ask you to sing for them, even if it's pre-recorded. So thank you for giving us your time.
Okay.
So, by the way, it's such an honor to meet you personally, even though if it's just online. So before anything else, it's quite obvious from the introduction of Kuya Anton that you are very much into opera music, that you are very much into classical music in general. So I'm just wondering, so in the future, what other types of genre of music that you would like to explore? And between being a soloist and a choral or choir singer, what are the major differences based on your experience?
Well, in terms of being a soloist and being a chorister or a choir member, it depends on how you
Mhm.
see it. Like, for example, if we're talking about opera chorus, it's almost the same style in terms of solo singing in the performance practice of opera. But of course, when you talk about for the church choirs, for the concert choruses, or the normal choir like the mixed choir, it's actually different from the opera world, especially in solo singing. Because, like for example, when I entered the Conservatory of Music in my early years, way back 2010, the voice professors there in the conservatory do not encourage their voice students to join a choir because they might get confused in terms of vocal technique because
Oh.
in choir it's more controlled, and
Mhm.
also you have to balance
True. I used to hear
everything.
of that a lot.
Yes,
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 yes.
and of course,
Mm,
if you become a soloist, you really have to showcase the uniqueness of your voice, the beauty of your voice, your expression, your artistry, and your musicality as an individual musician.
Oh, that's great. So, Russell, how do you
mm,
see yourself as a musician or as an artist 5 years from now?
mm.
Well, that's actually a question where little bit confusing right now because of the situation,
Oh, yes.
um, because of this pandemic. But of course, I really would like to continue my studies because as a 26-year-old tenor, I really do need more trainings, more experiences. Okay, because being a tenor is not an easy a job or a profession or a career. You really have to do a lot
True,
of discipline
true.
and so
Mhm.
on.
Mhm.
And right,
I agree.
actually, right after I graduated, I plan to really push through my master role, maybe in opera music or in vocal pedagogy. But the problem that time was I was also given an opportunity to study in France. Okay,
Oh.
for the école de Gregorian, Chant de Gregorian.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
But unfortunately, I didn't accept it because I don't want to go there alone. I was not
Right.
ready. I
Your
was not ready that time
your heart
emotionally.
is here.
Yes,
I
and
see,
also,
I
of
see.
course,
Okay.
the big difference in terms of culture, the language barrier,
Mhm.
these things. Yeah.
Mm. Well, you're very down to earth, Russell. I really admire that of you because, considering the wide array of credentials that you
Mhm.
already have at such an early age, I hope that you become an inspiration to our new generation as well.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much for that, Miss Sam.
So, by the way, I really admire your enthusiasm. And like what we were discussing earlier, so you're very much into classical music, but if you have the chance to try other types of music, other genres of music, what would they be in the future?
Well, I want ballad or Broadway music, maybe, and some of the crossovers like pop opera.
Right?
Are you familiar with pop opera, wherein we sing contemporary music in a classical way?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Uh,
It's
yeah.
some sort of fusion.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
But of course,
Mhm.
we cannot apply that in all music, so we
Mhm.
really have to choose well. But in terms
Mm.
of genre, that is in total contrast with the classical world, maybe ballad or the standard songs, like for example, Michael Bublé's music, "For Once in My Life," his songs, yeah,
Right.
and also Disney music. I really do love
Oh.
Disney music because
Mm.
you really need to explore your voice. It's like
Mhm.
voice acting at the
Mhm.
same time because
True,
yes,
true.
because sometimes you have to sing one song but five different voices in one song.
Yeah.
So making your voice older, younger,
Mhm.
female, male. Okay, so that's really fun to do, like experimenting with your voice.
Yes.
Wow. Well, thank you for letting us know. So before our viewers get to know you and your experiences a bit more, let's also get to listen and to watch to one of Russell's outstanding performances. So, Russell, would you please do the honors and introduce to us one of the songs that you prepared for us today?
This is Magnificat by Mr. Ferdinand Bautista and The A Great Amen by the late Father Maramba, sung by the Musicam Sacram Singers and Ensemble.
mercy on those who fear him in every generation. He has shown the strength of his heart. He has scattered the proud in their conceit. He has cast down the mighty from their thrones, and has lifted up the lowly. He has filled the hungry with good things, and the rich he has sent away empty. Magnificat, magnificat, anima mea Dominum, magnificat, magnificat, anima mea Dominum. He has come to the help of his servant Israel, for he has remembered his promise of mercy, the promise he made to our fathers, to Abraham and his children forever. Magnificat, magnificat, anima mea Dominum, magnificat, magnificat, anima mea Dominum. Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto, sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper et in saecula saeculorum. Amen. Amen.
Wow, that was very beautiful, Russell. Thank you for sharing. What do you think, Nina?
Wow, I really enjoyed it so much. Now,
Yes.
and as you said, from the world of great liturgical music, we now
That's
come to
right.
the world of opera. Okay, and I noticed, I saw your biography and a brief conversation we had that you did a production of La Boheme, right? And I was just
Yes.
thinking in episode 3, I was mentioning that one of my favorites is Luciano Pavarotti, and I saw him at the Metropolitan performing the same opera, La Boheme. So and mentioning about the
Wow.
is frozen, right? So I
Yes,
said
right.
that Russell is also into opera music. So I said, oh, I would love to support him as the Philippines' next up and rising young Pavarotti. Right? So I was just thinking,
Hopefully.
yeah, what is it that, what makes you want to go into the world of opera? Right, is it very popular in the Philippines, or are there challenges? And what is it that you love so much about opera?
Well, to be honest, here in the Philippines, opera music is not that produced, and also the people are not that aware of opera music. Only the only the privileged ones, maybe, because they think that opera music is only for rich people, for educated
Yeah.
people, because for them this music is very high. But actually, it's people just need some sort of education for them to really understand and to really appreciate this kind of music.
Mhm.
To be honest with you, I actually fell in love with opera music because of this one movie of Mr. Bean. Yes.
Oh, Mr.
Wow, I did
Yeah.
not expect
Yeah.
that. I did not expect that.
Yes, it was Mr. Bean's Holiday.
Ah,
Because there he sang one of the opera arias, one of the famous
Mhm.
opera arias in
Bambino Caro.
yes, that's right.
Yes,
That's
I
Ambia
saw
Babino
that.
Caro.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then when the first time that I heard that music, I imitated it right away. I'm
Ah,
yeah, I'm singing in my female voice at the time. And then starting right after watching that movie, I started searching it in YouTube. So I also find another classical music. The very first thing that really attracts me is that there is really a soul in this music compared to other music. I'm not trying to compare it, but the very first time I heard opera arias or opera music, the music is really different. The soul of this music is really different. So the very first time that I sing, I just sing just simply because I love to sing. Okay, and then lately I decided, oh, what if I enter the Conservatory of Music? Most of my classmates are expecting to sing pop music in the conservatory. So right after finding that that it has to be classical music, they left the conservatory right away. Yes. Now,
Right,
in terms
right.
of challenges, of course, language, because
yes.
opera
Mhm.
music is normally written in Italian, French, German, Russian, Spanish. So it's the language. But later on, I adopted the language. I cannot speak it in a conversation, but at least I can read and say, I can pronounce, I can
Mhm.
understand some of the words. So yeah, and I really do love Italian.
Right. The language of love,
Mhm.
right? Isn't it?
Yes, that's
Mhm.
Yeah.
right.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, opera, the appeal is that it was like the soap opera of the music drama of those days, right? I
Yes,
mean,
that's
Mhm.
right.
and
Yes,
every
yes.
the biggest movie stars were the singers, so they were very, very passionate about them. If you had a bad performance, they were there to throw the
Yes,
rotten eggs at you.
they will
They're not
they
gonna.
will boo you.
Yes, they will boo you. I mean, it's like what, half football match, half big concert theater, or it's something that they're passionate about. You cannot, the Italians will never be lukewarm. They will not be never be polite and say, "Oh, that was good." No, it's either we love you or you hate you. Right? So I
That's
think
correct.
Italy, I mean, has so many beautiful operas, and also the opera composers is in their blood, right? And then they
That's
always
correct.
say,
Yes.
Yes, natural,
Italy,
natural in
yeah,
their language.
correct. Italy, the home of the spaghetti and the fast cars and the opera, right? And of
That's
course,
right.
yes. So, and do you have any favorites at all, Russell? I mean, for your singers, anything, anyone you admire or you
Yes.
enjoy?
Yes, I do have. Of course, for the composer, I really do love Giacomo Puccini's operas and works. Okay,
Correct.
more of romantic
Yes.
period. So and also Giuseppe Verdi's work, especially Rigoletto.
Ah,
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Very
yeah.
demanding. And have you played that role, or is for somebody much
um,
older?
no, for Rigoletto, Tosca, and La Boheme, I'm part of
Yes.
the opera chorus.
Ah,
mm.
correct. But
Yeah.
not on the starring roles yet, right?
Yes, that's right. Because I'm still a student that time.
Uh-huh.
In Noli Me Tangere, the opera, that's
Mhm.
my debut as an opera singer for two roles, Manlilibing and Don Filippo.
Correct.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, being an opera singer, do you have any dreams
Mhm.
of what? Why would you want to do that? I mean, as I mentioned, that if most people think of it as being very elitist, right? So, what is your aim as a young tenor? What is your dream?
Well, I of course my dream is to become an international opera singer and
Yes.
to give master classes around the world, of course, and also to inspire more young singers.
Yeah, that's
Because
good.
opera world, not all people can appreciate this music,
Hmm.
type of music. So, and this is not an easy way of singing because you really have to master your instrument. It is as if you have a power inside your body that you cannot manage yet, that you cannot take control yet. So you really have to master it.
Yes, right. And so I think, thank you so much, Russell. We both share a liking for opera and
Yes.
classical music, right? And so this episode
Mm,
is really
mm.
close to my home and to my heart and my home because, as I said, I mean, when I read that you about La Boheme, your tiny hand is frozen. I said, wow, right?
Nagka-Janita kanina.
Now we can have, hopefully next time we have a chance to hear you live in
Yes.
either in Philippines or and we wish you a
Mm.
wonderful career. But now we're coming to a close,
Mhm.
so this is Nina saying till next time.
This is Anton.
And once again, this is Sam. This was a very productive session. So thank you again, Russell, for inspiring the three of us. And hopefully, you have also inspired our millions of viewers out there. So, before we end, we have one final song coming from Russell here. So, could you please introduce it for us,
Okay, this is
Russell?
Hallelujah from Mount of Olives by Ludwig van Beethoven, sung by the
Hmm.
Musicahan Sacram Singers.
Right?